Welcome. At 72, Robert felt like his mind was slipping. It was not a sudden change, but a slow, creeping fog. He would walk into a room and for a moment stand there, completely forgetting why he had come. He would be in the middle of a story with his family, a story he knew well, and the words would just vanish. It left him feeling frustrated, embarrassed, and, if he was being honest, afraid. He read about a clinical study, one that involved other healthy older adults, people just like him, who were feeling that same fog. He decided to try one simple thing. He was not put on a new experimental drug. He was given a capsule. He began taking one 500 milligram capsule twice a day with his food. What happened over the next 9 weeks was not a miracle. It was not an overnight change. It was a process. A slow, steady clearing of the fog. His family noticed it first. He was sharper. He was keeping up with conversations. He was remembering small details. The study later confirmed what his family saw. His memory, his attention, and his cognition had all significantly improved. What Robert had discovered was not a new invention, but an ancient secret. He had rediscovered the power of black seed oil. For thousands of years, this oil has been a legend. This is not an exaggeration. In ancient Egypt, it was so treasured that it was found in the tomb of the pharaoh Tutankhamun, meant for his use and health in the afterlife. Queen Nefertiti, whose beauty is legendary, reportedly used this very oil to keep her famous complexion beautiful and her hair lustrous. The great physician Ibn Sina, known to the West as Avicenna, wrote about it over 1,000 years ago in his Canon of Medicine, one of the most important medical books ever written. He said this seed stimulates the body's energy and, most importantly, helps it recover from fatigue and dispiritedness. In the Arabian Gulf, it earned a name that tells you everything you need to know, Habbatul Barakah. This translates to the seed of blessing. Why? Because for centuries it was seen as a remedy for nearly everything, from a cough to a headache to joint pain to skin rashes. Today, modern science is finally catching up to these ancient healers. We have found the secret behind the secret. It's a powerful natural compound inside this tiny black seed. This compound is called thymoquinone, or TQ for short. This is the engine. This is the part of the oil that does the heavy lifting. Thymoquinone, or TQ, is one of the most potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds found in nature. But here is the problem. And this is why so many people try it once and say, "It didn't work for me." Most people who try it today make a critical mistake. They take it the wrong way. They buy the wrong kind. Or, most commonly, they take it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. This is a huge mistake. The oil is powerful, and taking it on an empty stomach can cause digestive upset, nausea, and cramping, which makes them quit before the benefits even have a chance to start. Today, in this live stream, we are going to change that. We are going to go deep. This is not a quick 5-minute video. We are here to explore the 17 secret uses of this oil, the specific methods that old doctors and traditional healers perfected, specifically for those of us over 50. We will cover the exact recipes. We will cover the common, costly mistakes that you must avoid. And we will cover the critical, serious warnings you must know before you even think about trying it, especially if you are on any prescription medication. This is the information no one tells you. Let's begin. Secret number 1. Sharpening your memory and cognition. We begin with Robert's story because it's a fear so many of us share. It's not just forgetting your keys. It's that brain fog that settles in. It's the word that's right on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't grasp it. It's the feeling that you are not as sharp as you used to be. It's not just annoying, it's worrying. So, how does this oil help? Let's talk about the simple science. Why did this work for Robert? It's not magic. It's that TQ, the active compound. TQ is a powerful neuroprotector. That means it helps protect your brain cells. It does this by fighting oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as a kind of rust on your brain cells, caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. The TQ is a powerful antioxidant that helps clean up that rust, protecting your cells and supporting their function. This is why studies show it can enhance memory and cognition. So, what are the exact methods? There are two simple ones. First is the clinical method. This is the one Robert used. It's simple and tasteless. You take one 500 milligram black seed oil capsule 2 times per day, and you must take it with food. Second is the traditional method. This is for those who prefer the liquid oil. An old recipe from Bangladesh, specifically for memory, says to take 1 teaspoon of the oil and mix it into 100 milligrams of boiled mint. This was taken for at least 15 days to support memory. A much simpler version, and just as common, is to take 1 teaspoon of the oil and mix it with 1 teaspoon of pure, raw honey, and take this mixture as a daily tonic. Now let's talk about the mistakes. This is so important. The first and biggest mistake when using this for memory is impatience. This is the mistake that guarantees failure. People expect the instant results of a prescription drug. This is not a drug. It is a food. It is a supplement. It works gradually. Remember Robert's story? The study that showed those significant measurable results ran for 9 weeks. 9 weeks of consistent daily use. You must be patient and give it time to work. The second mistake is using cheap, rancid, or oxidized oil. This oil is delicate. It is sensitive to light, heat, and air. If you buy a cheap oil in a clear plastic bottle, it has likely gone bad. When it oxidizes, it not only loses its TQ, but it creates new harmful compounds that actually promote the inflammation and damage you are trying to fight. You are doing the complete opposite of what you want. And the third mistake is inconsistency. Taking it one day, forgetting for 3, then taking it again. It does not work that way. It needs to build up in your system to provide that neuroprotective benefit. So, what should you expect? What is the timeline? In 48 hours? Honestly, you will not feel much of anything for your memory. That's the truth. In 7 days, you might start to feel a little clearer. That fog might feel a little less dense, but the real measurable change, the Robert effect, that is a long-term commitment. You must give it the full 9 weeks or even 12 to see what it can really do for you. Sharpening the mind is a true gift. But what about the body? What about that grinding, nagging daily pain in your knees, your hips, or your hands? Secret number 2, soothing joint pain and arthritis. This is perhaps the most famous traditional use for this oil. In ancient texts, it was the #1 remedy for rheumatism, for back pain, and for swollen, aching joints. This is the complaint I hear more than any other. It's that deep stiffness when you first get out of bed. It's that grinding feeling in your knee when you take the stairs. It's the weather report in your bones, that deep ache that tells you a storm is coming. Let's talk about Martha. At 75, Martha suffered from debilitating knee osteoarthritis. The pain was so bad it had taken away her favorite hobby, gardening. She couldn't kneel. She couldn't bend. It limited her mobility, and she was relying on common painkillers just to get through the day. She joined a study to find a more natural topical solution. Here is what she did. It was a very specific method. 3 times a day she applied about 1 milliliter of black seed oil directly to her painful knee joint. 1 milliliter is about 1/4 of a teaspoon. She didn't just rub it on. She massaged it in with her entire palm in a slow clockwise direction for 5 full minutes. She did this 3 times a day, every day, for 3 weeks. The results were astonishing. The study found that this simple topical oil reduced her knee pain, and in fact provided greater pain relief than the other group in the study who were just taking oral acetaminophen. It was a safe, effective, natural way for her to manage her pain and get back to her garden. The secret here, which old doctors understood, is dual action. You must treat this problem from the outside in and the inside out at the same time. First, the external method, the one Martha used. You can follow her exact method. Apply 1 milliliter, a quarter teaspoon, to the painful joint 3 times a day. And you must do the massage for 5 minutes to work it in. There is another, older traditional method for backache and rheumatism. You mildly heat a small amount of the oil, just to make it warm, and then, as the old text says, stroke the rheumatic area intensely. Second, the internal method. To fight the inflammation from the inside, the old texts advise drinking 1 teaspoon of the oil 3 times per day, in addition to the massage. Modern studies on rheumatoid arthritis, a different kind of joint pain, found success with 500 milligram capsules taken twice daily. This led to significant reductions in morning stiffness and joint swelling. Because the liquid oil has a very strong, bitter, peppery taste, the easiest way to take it is to mix that 1 teaspoon of oil with 1 teaspoon of raw honey, or stir it into a little bit of lemon or orange juice. Now for the mistakes. The number 1 mistake here, just like with memory, is impatience. This guarantees failure. People rub it on, and when the pain isn't gone in an hour, they say it doesn't work. They are expecting the instant relief of a drug. But this oil works differently. It works by reducing the inflammation at a deep level, and that process takes time. The clinical studies that prove it works run for 3 weeks, 8 weeks, or even 12 weeks. You must be consistent. The second mistake is using the wrong dose. Taking too little will have minimal impact, but taking too much, thinking it will work faster, is also a mistake. It just leads to digestive distress, nausea, and stomach burning, which will make you quit. And the third mistake is forgetting the dual action. Just rubbing it on is good, just taking it is good. But doing both is what the old doctors advised. That is the complete remedy. This dual action of internal and external is a powerful theme. But what about problems that are deep inside? Problems you can't see or rub, like the pressure building up in our blood vessels. Secret number 3, supporting healthy blood pressure. This is a critical topic, and we must be very clear. This is the silent killer. You don't feel it. There are often no symptoms, but it's there, a constant worry in the back of your mind. Or you do feel the side effects from the medication, which can be just as bad. Black seed oil is known to support healthy blood pressure. This is not a replacement for medication, it is a support. Clinical studies, including meta-analyses, have shown that supplementation can lead to a significant, though modest, reduction in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. In one study, even healthy volunteers who took just 5 milliliters, which is 1 teaspoon, of the oil daily for 8 weeks saw a significant lowering of their blood pressure with no adverse effects. So, how does it do this? This is fascinating. It's not one single thing, but a team of 4 actions working together. First, it acts as a natural diuretic. This means it gently helps your body get rid of excess water, which reduces the volume of blood and thus the pressure. Second, it's a vasodilator. That's a big word, but it's simple. The TQ in the oil helps your body increase nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. Wider, more relaxed vessels mean less pressure. Third, it may act as a calcium channel blocker. This is a mechanism used by many modern medications. It helps relax the smooth muscle in the vessel walls, making them more flexible. Fourth, it may help inhibit something called ACE. This action helps stop a chemical reaction in your body that causes your blood vessels to constrict or tighten up. The method is simple. 1 teaspoon, 5 millimol of the oil daily, taken with food, but. And this is our first critical warning of the day. This is not a suggestion, this is a safety rule. Because this oil works so well, and on the same pathways as modern medicine, it can create a dangerous doubling effect. If you are already taking prescription blood pressure medications, this is the biggest mistake you can make. If you are taking any medication for high blood pressure, whether it's an ACE inhibitor like lisinopril, a calcium channel blocker like amlodipine, or a beta blocker like metoprolol, you must not start taking this oil without talking to your doctor. I repeat, you must consult your doctor. Combining them can cause your blood pressure to drop too low. This is a condition called hypotension, and it is dangerous. The symptoms are not pleasant: severe dizziness, fainting, blurred vision, and weakness. It can be a medical emergency. This interaction is serious, and it is the exact same for our next secret, which affects millions of people over 50. Secret number 4. Supporting healthy blood sugar. This is another one of those chronic issues that so many of us deal with every single day. The constant monitoring, the energy crashes, the dietary restrictions, the fear of complications down the road. For centuries, black seed was a specific, traditional remedy for what we now know as type 2 diabetes. Again, it works by supporting the body's natural systems. It doesn't just mask the problem. Let's look at the simple science. How does it help? First, studies suggest it may help cause a partial regeneration of the pancreatic beta cells. These are the very cells in your pancreas that produce insulin. Second, it can help increase the serum insulin level, meaning your body has more of its own insulin to work with. And third, it improves your body's overall glucose tolerance, making it less sensitive to sugar spikes. The traditional method, which was later confirmed in studies, was to take 2 grams of the black seed powder or the whole seeds per day. This amount was found to improve glycemic control. If you are using the oil, the common method is 1 teaspoon of oil a day, and it is frequently mixed with that spoonful of raw honey, which has a low glycemic index and does not spike blood sugar in the same way. But here is our second critical warning, and it is just as serious as the first one. Just like with blood pressure, this oil has a powerful, natural glucose-lowering effect. If you combine this with your prescription diabetes medications, like metformin or insulin, you can amplify the drug's effect. You risk a doubling effect that can cause your blood sugar to drop too low. This is called hypoglycemia, and it is an emergency. The symptoms are dangerous: confusion, tremors, a rapid heartbeat, and excessive sweating. It can lead to fainting or seizures. You must consult your doctor before you add this to your routine. If your doctor approves, you must start with the absolute minimum dose, and you must monitor your blood sugar levels closely, even more than you do now, to see how it affects you. These internal issues are vital. But what about how you feel every single morning? What about that deep, dragging fatigue that seems to be a permanent part of life over 50? Secret number 5. Fighting chronic fatigue and low energy. This is not just, I'm a little tired. This is that bone-deep weariness. It's the feeling of waking up, and you already need a nap. It's that dispiritedness that the great physician Ibn Sina wrote about. You feel sluggish, your body aches, and you just don't have the get up and go that you used to. Let's talk about Gary. At 60, Gary felt exactly this way. He was constantly sluggish. He had mild daily aches and pains in his back and knees, and he just felt worn out. He started taking black seed oil every day. Within just a few weeks, he noticed a real difference. His daily aches started to fade away. He reported feeling more energy, a steady, all-day energy, not a jittery, caffeine-based energy. And he also noticed he was sleeping much better. This isn't just a feeling. There is real science to this. First, it is traditional. As we said, Ibn Sina himself said it stimulates the body's energy. Second, it works at the cellular level. The TQ compound supports better mitochondrial function. The mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside every cell in your body. They create your energy. When they work better, you have more energy. Third, the seed itself is rich in nutrients your body needs to create energy, like B vitamins and iron. But most importantly, this oil fights the root causes of fatigue that are so common over 50. It reduces chronic inflammation, which is a major source of pain and lethargy. It improves your sleep quality, which is essential for restoring energy. And, as we just learned, it helps balance your blood sugar, preventing those terrible energy crashes in the afternoon. So, what is the best method to use it for energy? The simplest way is the morning dose. Take 1 teaspoon of the oil or 1 500 ml capsule in the morning with your breakfast. This is key. But there is a specific traditional anti-fatigue elixir from Turkey that is even better. Here is the recipe. Take 1 tablespoon of black seed oil and mix it with 1 glass of pure orange juice. Drink this every morning for at least 10 days. The orange juice provides vitamin C and hydration, and the oil provides that deep cellular energy support. Now the mistakes. The first mistake is taking it at the wrong time. If you want energy, you should take it in the morning. Taking it at night might be too stimulating for some. The second mistake, as always, is taking it on an empty stomach. This can cause a stomach ache that will make you feel worse, not better. Always with breakfast. The third mistake is impatience. It takes time to rebuild your body's energy stores. So, what is the timeline? In 48 hours? You might feel a little more even. The highs and lows of your energy might be softer. You might not have that 3 p.m. crash. In 7 days, you might wake up feeling a bit more ready for the day. That feeling of dreading getting out of bed might be a little less. The real, sustained, Gary energy? That is a multi-week journey of consistent, daily, morning use. Gary mentioned he slept better. That is no accident. And for some people, sleep is the real problem. So what is the forgotten method for a deep, restful sleep? Secret number 6. Promoting deep, restful sleep. If you are a member of the 3 a.m. club, this secret is for you. The frustration of staring at the ceiling, your mind racing, knowing you will be useless tomorrow. This isn't just about falling asleep. This is about staying asleep and improving the quality of your sleep so you wake up feeling rested. The active compound, TQ, has been linked in research to stress relief and better sleep. It helps calm the nervous system. Modern advice often just says to take a capsule. But the forgotten method, the traditional method, is a warm, comforting, and simple drink. Here is the traditional recipe for sleep. Take 1 tablespoon of black seed oil and mix it with honey. Then add this mixture to a hot drink. A more specific and, I think, more relaxing version of this recipe is 1 teaspoon of the oil and 1 teaspoon of honey, stirred into a glass of warm milk. You consume this in the evening, about 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep. But there is a second part to this secret, a classic dual-action method. While you are sipping your warm milk and honey, take a little bit of the pure oil on your fingers and rub it on your temples. This combination of the internal and external use is a classic traditional approach to calming the mind and preparing the body for rest. One pro tip from the old texts: for this to work best, you should also have a light dinner and avoid sugary products right before bed. The mistakes are simple. First, taking it in the morning. If sleep is your goal, take it in the evening with your dinner. Second, eating a heavy sugary meal before bed. This will counteract the calming effects. Third, expecting a knockout pill. This is not a sedative or a sleeping pill. It will not knock you out. It works gently to reduce stress and improve the quality and depth of your sleep so you stay asleep. What is the timeline? In 48 hours or 2 nights of use, you might notice you are not tossing and turning as much. You might find it easier to fall back asleep if you do wake up. In 7 days, you may find you are waking up before your alarm and feeling good, actually rested. That is the goal. This soothes the mind. Now let's talk about soothing the stomach. Secret number 7. Soothing digestive issues, bloating, and gas. This is a problem that can ruin your day or even a nice evening out. That uncomfortable, tight feeling in your stomach. The embarrassing gas. Having to unbutton your pants after a meal you were supposed to enjoy. Black seed oil is a powerful, traditional remedy for the entire gastrointestinal system. Let's look at the simple science. It works in several ways all at once. First, it is a powerful anti-inflammatory. It helps soothe the stomach lining and can help with conditions like gastritis. Second, it's antimicrobial. It naturally fights the bad bacteria in your gut. In fact, studies have shown it has activity against H. pylori, the specific bacteria famous for causing stomach discomfort and ulcers. Third, it's what old healers called a carminative. That is a fancy, old-fashioned word for a substance that relieves flatulence or gas. And fourth, it's believed to help stimulate your body's own digestive enzymes, helping you break down proteins, fats, and carbs more effectively. So, what is the method? A general dose for digestive support is 1/2 to 1 full teaspoon of the oil per day. But here are 2 specific, secret methods from traditional texts. The first is the gut healing tonic. This is simply 1 teaspoon of black seed oil mixed with 1 teaspoon of pure, raw honey. This combination is traditionally used to promote overall gut health and heal the stomach lining. The second is the anti-bloating nightcap. Take 1½ teaspoons of the oil before bed. This helps to settle the stomach overnight, reduce inflammation, and improve digestion for the next day. But now, we must cover the single most important mistake: the timing. This is the one I will repeat because it is the #1 reason people fail. Many people think all health tonics should be taken first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This is a huge mistake with black seed oil. When you do this, the powerful compounds and volatile oils hit the concentrated pool of gastric acid in your empty stomach. This can and does cause stomach discomfort, cramping, nausea, and burning. The unbreakable rule is this: always take black seed oil with food. Specifically, take it during or immediately after a meal that contains healthy fats. This is because the oil is fat-soluble. It needs other fats, like from avocado, nuts, eggs, or olive oil, to be absorbed properly. This one tip will prevent all that discomfort and dramatically increase the benefits. Fixing the inside is key. But what about the outside? How did ancient queens use this oil to stay beautiful? Secret number 8: supporting aging skin and soothing eczema. This is one of the most ancient and famous uses. As we heard, Queen Nefertiti, famed for her beauty, reportedly used black seed oil to maintain her incredible complexion, and she was not alone. Ancient Egyptian physicians used it on the skin for 3 specific reasons: to keep it moist, to increase elasticity, and to treat skin conditions like eczema, burns, and rashes. Why does it work so well for our skin, especially skin over 50? First, the simple science. The TQ compound is a powerful antioxidant. It fights the free radicals that cause premature aging, fine lines, and age spots. Second, the oil itself is full of fixed fatty acids, which are incredible moisturizers that support skin hydration, firmness, and luminosity. Third, it is a potent anti-inflammatory, which is why it is so effective at calming the redness, itching, and irritation of eczema and psoriasis. So, what is the secret mixture for aging skin? The most traditional one is called the olive oil mixture. Here is the recipe. Mix 1 tablespoon of black seed oil with 1 tablespoon of high-quality olive oil. Rub this mixture on your face and neck. Leave it on for at least 1 hour, then wash it off with simple soap and water. This was traditionally used to increase shine, improve elasticity, and remove skin spots. Here are 2 other, simpler methods for modern use. The night serum method. After you wash your face at night, leave your skin damp. Apply just 2 to 3 drops of the pure oil and massage it in. The dampness helps the oil absorb. The dilution method. This is the best method for sensitive skin. Blend a few drops of the oil directly into your existing favorite moisturizer. Or dilute it with a gentle carrier oil like jojoba or rosehip oil. Now, the mistakes. The #1 mistake for skin use is not doing a patch test. This is crucial. While it is gentle for most, some people can have an allergic reaction, especially those with sensitive skin. You must test it first. Put a small drop on a discrete area, like behind your ear or on your inner arm. Wait 24 hours. If there is no redness or irritation, you are safe to use it on your face. The second mistake is using too much. A few drops is all you need. Using too much can clog pores. The third mistake is applying it to bone-dry skin. Oil's job is to seal in moisture. If there is no moisture, it can't do its job. Always apply to damp skin. What is the timeline? In 48 hours, your skin will feel softer. That's the most immediate effect. In 7 days, if you have eczema or redness, you will notice it looks calmer. The irritation will be visibly reduced. The reduction in fine lines or the fading of age spots. That is a long-term 30-day-plus commitment of consistent nightly use. It's amazing for the skin on your face, but what about the skin on your scalp? Secret number 9, supporting hair growth and thickness. This is a major concern for so many of us, men and women alike. The hair in the drain, the widening part, the brush that seems fuller every day. It's a blow to your confidence. We are told it's just a normal part of aging. But what if we can support our hair health? This oil is highly recommended for it. It is known to improve hair density, strength, quality, and softness. And one of the most fascinating traditional uses was to massage it into the scalp regularly to help prevent premature graying. We have 2 very specific recipes for this. The first is the traditional multi-step regimen. This is a 3-part process, and it's very unique. Step 1. First, you stroke your entire scalp thoroughly with a slice of fresh lemon. You leave the lemon juice on your scalp for about 15 minutes. Step 2. Next, you wash your hair with shampoo and dry it completely. Step 3. Then, you take the pure black seed oil and massage it directly into your dry scalp. This traditional method also had an internal step. Drinking 1 teaspoon of the oil mixed in tea or coffee to support the hair from the inside out. A second, more modern mask is simpler and also very effective. Mix 1 tablespoon of black seed oil with 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Massage this blend deep into your scalp. Leave it on for at least 30 minutes, or you can even leave it on overnight with a towel on your pillow and then wash it out in the morning. The key to success here, the number 1 rule, is consistency. This is not a one-time fix. You must do this 2 to 3 times per week, every week. The mistakes to avoid. First, inconsistency. Doing it once a month will do nothing. Second, leaving the oil on your scalp for too long without washing. While an overnight mask is fine, leaving oil on your scalp for many days can clog follicles and, in some cases, can worsen scalp conditions like dandruff. Third, and this is a pro tip, only using oil. If your hair is very dry, oil alone can sometimes make it feel drier. Oil's job is to seal. You need a proper moisturizer that contains water, and then you use the oil to seal that moisture in. What is the timeline? In 7 days of use, 2 or 3 applications, your hair will feel softer and have more shine. In 30 days, you might notice less hair fall in the shower or on your brush. The new growth, the little baby hairs sprouting, that takes patience. That takes 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use. We have covered so much. But all of this information, all these secrets, are completely useless if you buy the wrong oil. Using a low-quality, cheap, or rancid oil is the number 1 mistake that wastes your time and your money. Before we go any further, let's pause our list for 1 minute to cover something absolutely crucial. How to buy the right oil. How to buy a good black seed oil and how to store it. Please listen closely. This is the most practical advice I can give you. The benefits we are discussing, especially from that TQ compound, are very, very sensitive. They are destroyed by 3 things: heat, light, and air. A bad oil isn't just useless, it can be harmful. When a delicate oil like this oxidizes and goes rancid, it creates oxidation products. These are compounds that can actually accelerate aging and promote inflammation. This is the exact opposite of what you want. So, when you are shopping, you must be a detective. You must look for these 5 specific things. First, check the label for purity. The ingredient list must say 100% pure Nigella sativa oil or 100% pure black cumin seed oil. If it says blend, formula, or complex, put it back. This means it is diluted with cheaper, useless filler oils. Second, check the bottle. It must be in a dark amber or a dark violet glass bottle. Glass protects it. Dark glass protects it from light. If it is in a clear or light-colored bottle, the light in the store has already started to degrade the oil before you even buy it. Never buy oil in a plastic bottle. Third, check the process. The label must say cold-pressed. This is a simple mechanical process that just squeezes the oil out of the seed without using high heat. Any process that uses high heat or chemical solvents to get more oil out destroys the TQ and renders the oil useless. Fourth, check the TQ content. This is a sign of a high-quality, honest brand. They will often state the TQ content on the label. You want to see a TQ level between 1 and 2%. This is considered potent and effective. Fifth, use your senses. When you get it home, open it. A good, potent oil will have a dark amber to deep brown color. It will be slightly thick, and it will have a strong, pungent, peppery, and spicy aroma and taste. If it smells mild, sweet, or like nothing, it's likely diluted. Once you buy this precious, high-quality oil, you must protect it like an investment. Store it in a cool, dark place. A kitchen cabinet is okay, but never in a cabinet near your stove or oven. The constant heat will destroy it. And here is the most important tip of all. After opening, you must store it in the refrigerator. This is the consensus from all the experts. It is the only way to protect it from heat and air. It will get cloudy and thick in the fridge. This is completely normal and does not harm the oil. It is just the fats congealing. Just let it sit at room temperature for 5 or 10 minutes before you use it, and it will be liquid again. If you are not sure where to find an oil that meets all of these standards, I have placed a link in the description to a trusted, high-quality, cold-pressed oil, the same kind we are discussing, that meets all this criteria. Okay, now that you have the right oil, let's get back to our secrets. What about that pounding, throbbing pressure in your head? Secret number 10, relieving headaches and migraines. This is another classic traditional use. That throbbing pain, the sensitivity to light, it can ruin your entire day. We know that the ancient Greek physicians, Hippocrates and Dioscorides, recorded its use for headaches. Ibn Sina also listed it as a primary remedy. The simple science is that the TQ in the oil has natural analgesic properties, which means pain-reducing, and it helps fight the inflammation that is often the root cause of the headache in the first place. Like with joint pain, the old method here is a powerful dual-action approach. You don't just take it internally. First, the topical application. Take the pure oil on your fingertips and rub it on your forehead. But don't stop there. Also rub it on the sides of your face, near your ears. Rub it into your temples. The old texts even say to bandage the head after applying the oil to keep it there. Second, the internal application. At the same time, you should take 1 teaspoon of the oil. The traditional text says before breakfast. But as we learned, if you have a sensitive stomach, take this with a small piece of fatty food, like a piece of avocado or a spoonful of yogurt, not on a totally empty stomach. Now, the mistakes. The first mistake is just taking it internally and hoping for the best. The topical application is key for that faster, soothing relief. The second mistake is not acting fast enough. The old healers would advise using this at the very first sign of a headache, not waiting until it is a full-blown migraine. And the third mistake, of course, is using a weak or rancid oil, which will do nothing. What is the timeline? This one can be fast. the topical relief, that soothing, cooling, anti-inflammatory effect, you might feel that in as little as 15 to 30 minutes. The internal dose works on a longer time scale to prevent them from coming back. This dual action is powerful, and it's the same principle for our next point, which is the very foundation of all health. Secret number 11. Creating the immune tonic. We all know that feeling of being run down, of catching everything that goes around. The constant sniffles, the scratchy throat. The ancient Egyptians knew this too, and they consumed this oil as a daily tonic to boost their immune system and promote general well-being. This is why it was called the panacea, or universal healer. The secret here is not just the oil, but what you mix it with. The most famous, most powerful immune tonic recipe combines black seed oil with pure, raw honey. Why this combination? It's all about synergy. You get the powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and immune-modulating properties from the oil's TQ, and you combine it with the natural antibacterial, antiviral, and soothing properties of raw honey. It is a perfect team. This mixture is also traditionally used for healing the gut, which is where 70% of your immune system lives. And as a bonus, it makes the powerful peppery oil much more palatable. There are two common ratios for this tonic. The first is the 1-to-1 ratio. This is the most common. 1 teaspoon of black seed oil mixed with 1 teaspoon or 1 spoonful of raw honey. You take this once a day. For immune support, it's traditionally taken in the morning, before breakfast. The second is the 1-to-2 ratio. This is for those who find the taste of the oil very strong. Mix 1 part oil with 2 parts honey. For example, 1 tablespoon of black seed oil mixed with 2 tablespoons of raw honey. This blend is thick and is perfect for spreading on a piece of toast or stirring into your morning oatmeal. Now, the mistakes. The first mistake is using bad honey. That processed clear honey in the plastic bear is just sugar. It has none of the benefits. You must use raw, pure, unfiltered honey. The second mistake is using a bad oxidized oil. Again, this will promote inflammation, not fight it. The third mistake is taking it only when you get sick. This is not a drug. This is a supportive tonic. The goal is to take it daily to build your resilience, so you don't get sick in the first place. What is the timeline? This is not a 48-hour fix. This is about building a strong foundation. After 30 days of consistent daily use, you might just notice that you got through that cold and flu season a little easier than everyone else around you. This tonic supports your whole system. But what about specific localized aches and pains, like that nagging deep pain in your back? Secret number 12. Soothing muscle pain and back pain. This is another problem, just like joint pain, that old healers treated with a dual action approach. It was a primary remedy for backache and rheumatism, that dull, constant ache in your lower back, the twinge you feel when you bend over. It's exhausting, and it makes you feel old. The simple science is the same as for joint pain. The TQ in the oil provides those powerful analgesic, pain-reducing, and anti-inflammatory benefits. It gets deep into the muscle tissue to calm things down. Here is the method. First, the topical application for muscular pains. The advice from the old texts is to mildly heat a small amount of the oil. Do not boil it. Just warm it gently in your hands or in a small bowl. Then, massage it into the sore muscles. The old text says to stroke the rheumatic area intensely. This is not a light spa massage. It is a deep, stimulating massage. Second, the internal application. For the most complete support, especially for chronic back pain, the texts advise drinking 1 teaspoon of the oil 3 times per day. And as we know, the best way to take this is by mixing it with honey, or in a warm tea or coffee to mask the pungent flavor. And you must take it with your meal, especially a meal containing healthy fats. This helps your body absorb it systemically to fight that deep inflammation from the inside out. The mistakes? First, using cold oil. Gently heating it makes a big difference in how it feels and how it penetrates. Second, a wimpy massage. The old texts say intensely. You need to work it in. Third, forgetting the internal dose. The external rub is for immediate relief, but the internal dose is what works on the chronic, long-term problem. What is the timeline? The topical massage with the warm oil. You can feel that soothing relief in 30 minutes or less. But the internal support, that takes weeks to build up and reduce the chronic inflammation that causes the pain in the first place. This helps with pain you can feel on the surface. But what about the pain and pressure inside your head, in your sinuses? Secret number 13, easing sinus congestion and allergies. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinus headaches, or that awful clogged-up feeling of congestion, this is a powerful secret. The oil is traditionally used for asthma, bronchitis, and allergic rhinitis, hay fever. Let's talk about Susan. Susan is not a real person, but she represents so many people. Every spring, she was miserable. Her eyes watered, her nose dripped, and the pressure in her head was constant. She started using the steam inhalation method with black seed oil. It didn't cure her allergies, but it made them manageable. She could finally go outside and enjoy her garden in the spring. How does it work? The simple science is fascinating. The oil contains compounds TQ and one called nigellone that work in 3 ways. First, they are anti-inflammatory, so they inhibit the inflammation of the sinuses. Second, they act as a natural antihistamine, calming the allergic reaction itself. And third, they act as a bronchodilator, helping to relax the airways and make it easier to breathe. There are 3 ways to use it for this. Method 1, steam inhalation. This is the most effective method for congestion, the one Susan used. The traditional method is to simply add the oil to hot water and inhale the vapor. A more modern specific recipe is 1. Boil 2 cups of water and pour it into a large, heat-proof bowl. 2. In a small cup, mix 1 tablespoon of black seed oil with 4 drops of an essential oil like lavender, rosemary, or chamomile. 3rd, add this oil mixture to the hot water. 4. Lean over the bowl, drape a large towel over your head to create a tent, close your eyes, and inhale deeply through your nose for 5 to 10 minutes. Method 2. The chest rub. This is a traditional method for bronchitis and chest congestion. Simply rub the pure oil on your chest every night before sleep. The vapors rise and you inhale them all night. Method 3. The nasal drop. This method was used traditionally and in clinical studies, but you must be very cautious. The traditional remedy for a head cold was to place 3 to 4 drops of the oil in each nostril. Clinical studies for allergic rhinitis use 2 drops in each nostril, 3 times a day. Be warned, this will be intense. It will have a strong, spicy, peppery sensation, but it is very effective. The mistakes? The first mistake is just drinking it. For sinus congestion, inhalation is the key. The second mistake is getting too close to the steam, which can burn your face. Be careful. The third mistake is being too aggressive with the nasal drops if you are not prepared for the sensation. What is the timeline? The steam inhalation. You will feel that relief immediately. Your passages will open up and you will feel the pressure ease. The long-term allergy support. That takes days or weeks of consistent use to build up the antihistamine effect in your system. This helps open up the passages. Now let's talk about another kind of passage, your blood vessels, and the reason your hands and feet are always cold. Secret number 14, improving warmth in cold hands and feet. This is such a common complaint, especially for women. That ice block feeling in your feet. Having to wear socks to bed, even in the summer. Your partner complaining about your cold feet touching them, or your fingers just feeling like ice. This is a sign of poor circulation. Traditional Unani medicine had a perfect solution for this. It considered black seed to have a very warm and dry nature, making it the perfect remedy for a cold and damp condition like poor circulation. The simple science is that the TQ in the oil helps support vascular health. It helps blood vessels relax, as we learned in the blood pressure section, which aids blood flow all the way to your extremities, your hands and feet. There are 3 methods to bring that warmth back. Method 1, the stimulating massage. This is the most direct approach. First, mildly heat a small amount of the oil, then apply it to your cold hands and feet. And don't just rub it in, intensely massage or stroke the skin. This combination of the warm oil and the friction of the massage stimulates the skin and brings blood and circulation right to the surface. Method 2. The warm bath. Add 1 to 4 drops of the oil to a warm bath and mix it well before you get in. This will stimulate the skin all over your body and improve your general circulation. Method 3. The internal support. For systemic, long-term support, you must work from the inside. Take 1 teaspoon of the oil daily, mixed with honey, in the morning with your breakfast. This supports your body's energy and overall vascular health. The mistakes? Using cold oil. The warmth is a key part of the massage, just taking it internally. The internal dose is for the long term, but the topical massage is what gives you that feeling of warmth right away. Impatience. Rebuilding good circulation is a long-term process. What is the timeline? The stimulating massage and the warm bath. You will feel that warmth immediately. It is a wonderful, soothing feeling. The systemic internal improvement, where your feet are naturally warmer, that is a multi-week process of consistent internal and external use. This can bring warmth and life back to your hands and feet. Let's stick with hands and feet for our next secret. One for that painful, rough, and cracked skin. Secret number 15. Softening cracked heels and rough hands. Our hands and feet take a beating over a lifetime. They can become weathered, rough, and dry. And those painful, deep cracks in your heels that catch on the bed sheets or your socks. It's awful. This oil is a fantastic healer for this. Why does it work so well? First, it is deeply moisturizing. The rich fatty acids in the oil replenish the skin's natural moisture barrier, leaving it soft and supple. Second, it is a healer. This is the key. It supports the regeneration of skin cells and is known to accelerate the wound healing process. This is perfect for those painful cracks. Third, it's anti-inflammatory, so it calms the red, irritated, and painful skin around the cracks. So, what is the overnight recipe? The sources suggest 2 ways to apply it. Method 1. The pure application. The best time to apply any oil to your skin is when it is damp. So, after your shower or after soaking your feet, pat them dry so they are still just slightly damp. Apply just 2 or 3 drops of the pure oil and massage it in until it's fully absorbed. Method 2. The moisturizing blend. This is even more powerful. Mix 1 tablespoon of black seed oil with 1 tablespoon of another deep moisturizer, like high-quality olive oil, or jojoba oil, or rosehip oil. Massage this blend generously into your hands and heels. Now, here is the overnight part of the secret. After you apply the oil blend, put on a pair of clean cotton socks, and for your hands, a pair of clean cotton gloves. Then, go to sleep. This is so important. The socks and gloves do 2 things. They keep the oil off your sheets, and they trap the moisture and your natural body heat, allowing the oils to penetrate deeply all night long. The mistakes? Applying it to bone-dry skin. It just sits on top and feels greasy. Always apply to damp skin. Not using the socks or gloves. It just rubs off on your sheets and is wasted, using a tiny amount. For this, you can be generous. What is the timeline? You will feel a difference in 1 night. I'm not exaggerating. You will wake up in the morning, take off the socks, and your skin will be dramatically softer. To heal the deep, painful cracks? That will take 7 to 10 nights of consistent nightly use. From healing the skin on your feet to relieving a throbbing pain in your mouth. Secret number 16. Temporary relief for a toothache. This is one of those forgotten remedies that can be an absolute lifesaver. There is almost no pain like a toothache. It is all-consuming, and it always seems to happen at 2 in the morning when you can't get to a dentist. The use of black seed for toothache was recorded by both Ibn Sina and Dioscorides. It works, again, because of the oil's powerful analgesic, secus, pain-reducing, and anti-inflammatory properties. It helps to numb the pain and fight the inflammation or infection at the root of the problem. Now, the traditional method is very specific and a bit strange. It's a vinegar rinse. Here is the forgotten recipe from the old texts. Step 1. First, you cook the whole black seeds, not the oil, with a little bit of vinegar. Step 2. Then you add the black seed oil to this cooked vinegar and seed mixture. Step 3. You rinse your mouth with this formulation. Swish it around the painful tooth and gums. Do not swallow it. This is meant to help the gums and provide temporary relief from the ache. Now, the mistakes. The first mistake is swallowing it. This mixture is for rinsing only. The second and most critical mistake is thinking this is a cure. This is the biggest mistake. A toothache is a sign of a serious problem, an infection, or a deep cavity. This oil is for temporary relief only, to get you through the night. You must see a dentist. What is the timeline? This should provide a numbing, temporary relief fairly quickly, within 15 to 20 minutes of rinsing. This is a very specific old remedy. Our final secret is for a similar type of localized pain, one deep inside the ear. 17. Soothing earache discomfort. This is another traditional remedy. In ancient texts, earache is specifically listed as one of the 129 ailments that black seed was used to treat. That deep, sharp, aching pain, it's awful, and it's often related to a cold or sinus pressure or water in the ear. Now, the sources are not specific on the method, and I must be very, very clear. Do not put oil directly into your ear canal, unless a doctor tells you to. It can be risky. However, we know why it was used. It was for the exact same reason it was used for headaches and toothaches. Its powerful anti-inflammatory and analgesic, pain-reducing properties. The pain from an earache is often related to inflammation and pressure in the tissues, around the ear, in the jaw, and in the sinuses. So, a safe and effective traditional method is to adapt the one used for muscle pain and headaches. First, gently warm a small amount of the oil. Second, topically massage the oil around the ear. Rub it gently behind the ear. Rub it down the jawline. Rub it onto the temples. This helps relieve the inflammation and pain in all the surrounding tissues, providing a wonderful, external, soothing relief without putting anything in your ear. The mistakes? The number one mistake is putting it in the ear canal. Don't do it. The second mistake is thinking it cures an ear infection. It does not. It soothes the discomfort. If you have an ear infection, you must see a doctor. What is the timeline? The warm oil massage. You should feel that soothing relief in 15 to 20 minutes. And that is our 17th secret. We have covered so much. We have explored how to use this ancient seed of blessing for your mind, your joints, your skin, your hair, your energy, and your sleep. But before we finish, I must share the most important information of all. This is not a secret. This is a critical, vital safety warning. Please, listen closely. This is the part that everyone skips, and it's the most dangerous. The critical safety warnings. You must know this. Black seed oil is powerful. That power is its benefit. But it also means it can be dangerous if it is used incorrectly. It is not a miracle cure, and it is not for everyone. It can interact with common medications, and some people should not take it at all. The main danger is what is called a doubling effect. This is not a small side effect. This can be serious enough to send a person to the emergency room. This happens in three main categories. First, blood pressure medications. As we discussed, the oil naturally lowers blood pressure. If you are taking prescription medications for your blood pressure, like lisinopril, amlodipine, metoprolol, or any other, you risk a doubling effect. You must not combine them. It can cause hypotension, which is dangerously low blood pressure. The symptoms are severe dizziness, blurred vision, weakness, and fainting. Second, diabetes medications. The oil naturally lowers blood sugar. If you are taking metformin, insulin, or any other drug to control your diabetes, you risk a doubling effect. It can cause hypoglycemia, which is dangerously low blood sugar. The symptoms are confusion, tremors, excessive sweating, and a rapid heartbeat. It can be a medical emergency. Third, blood thinners. The oil may slow blood clotting. If you are taking anticoagulants or antiplatelet drugs like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, combining them can increase your risk of excessive bleeding or bruising. Because of these powerful effects, there are groups of people who should avoid this oil completely. Who must avoid black seed oil? 1. If you are pregnant, do not use this oil in medicinal amounts. It has been shown in some studies to potentially slow down or even stop uterine contractions, which could pose a risk of miscarriage. Second, if you have a scheduled surgery. This is a vital warning. You must stop taking this oil at least 2 weeks before your operation, because it affects blood clotting, blood sugar, and your body's response to anesthesia. It can cause serious complications, like bleeding during and after the procedure. Third, if you have diagnosed low blood pressure. If you already have hypotension, do not take this. It can lower your blood pressure even further, leading to chronic fatigue, dizziness, and fainting. Fourth, if you have a bleeding disorder. Because it slows clotting, it can increase your risk of bleeding. Finally, what happens if you just take too much? Taking more is not better. Taking substantially more than the recommended dose does not increase the benefits. It just causes digestive distress, nausea, bloating, stomach cramps, a burning sensation, and diarrhea. While the oil is generally safe, very high doses in rare cases have been linked to kidney or liver strain. The rule is simple: start low and go slow. Start with just half a teaspoon a day to see how you feel. Do not exceed 2 to 3 teaspoons per day. And the most important rule of all, if you are on any prescription medication or have any chronic condition, you must talk to your doctor before you start. We have covered the 17 secrets from the time of the pharaohs to today. We've covered how to use this oil for your mind, your joints, your skin, and your energy. We've also covered how to buy it, and most importantly, how to use it safely. The power of this seed of blessing is remarkable, but as with all powerful things, it must be used with wisdom. Thank you for joining. Hello, and welcome. At 72,